Hey, so I bet you're wondering, Chris, where is your fancy theme music? No, I didn't get rid of Nate and Britton. They're still doing their wonderful magic for me. But it turns out that in my zeal to bring to you so many guests with their stories and inspirational messages, that I messed up. And I'm going to talk about that faux pas in this session that I'm going to call reflections. I have three reflections that I'm going to share today based on this past year of me podcasting and making videos and getting out my speaking message. The first reflection is I need to label files better because that's what it was. I had gotten to this groove of getting into, of making videos and conducting interviews, but I didn't have a solid way of organizing. Okay, which was episode 47 and 48 and 49, and I didn't do a 48 and 49. I went from 47 to 50. So this is in effect episode 48. So I apologize for the lack of wonderful guests, and there won't be one next week, but there will be a fantastic guest for my 50th show, which will be the end of my first season. I've decided to make all my seasons 50 episodes long because I want to. That's the beauty of being a creator on this platform, is I can do whatever I want, and that's how I want to section them off. So going forward, I'm going to label my files more clearly and concisely so I can follow where I am at. I'm not sure if you know about this, but besides being a speaker and a podcast host, I'm also a full-time teacher and a husband and a father. I have a lot going on, so I have to make sure that I know what plates are spinning so I can keep them all from crashing on the floor. So that's my first reflection. My second reflection is relying on what works and what doesn't. As I've gone through this journey of speaking and sharing my message and the messages of others, I've realized that there are some things I'm really good at and I really want to keep doing. And then there are some things that I didn't really like doing and I really shouldn't do as much of. I love speaking. That's why I do it. I love sharing my message and helping others share their messages, which is why I also do the podcast. I'll give you a little background. When I started speaking last year, I was so excited to get out and share my message that I was really disheartened when COVID came and canceled all options for live events. So I started my podcast so I could sharpen my speaking tools, and eventually I figured that if I want to share my message, there are probably others who want to do the same. So I started interviewing people for the podcast, which is why I have so many wonderful voices on there now every week. What doesn't work for me was I'm like a bird. I like shiny objects. Did you know on the internet there are literally millions of shiny objects all around? And when you're a beginning speaker, you want to do the best that you can, and you want to see, okay, what can I do with this shiny object? Oh, I like that shiny object. Let's go to that one. And oh, look at that. That's really pretty. Let's grab that one as well. But as time has gone on, I've discovered even though those objects are shiny, they're not really useful to me, or at least useful to me right now. So I've had to send some shiny objects back, and others that I really can't give back, I'm going to hold on to for another time, or if they didn't cost me a lot or anything at all, I just deleted them. Because I can't do everything at once. I have to use what works for me right now. And so making that discovery is huge for me because I'm really hoping that will help me become more successful as time goes on. So that's my second reflection is realizing or relying on what works and discarding what doesn't. And my third reflection for today is I need to be me. And if you've seen my posts, if you've heard me talk before, you know that I seem to not have a problem with that. I mean, I share my love of comic books and of running, of my family, of course, and other things. But I need to keep reminding myself of that. There's so much imposter syndrome that happens that we get focused on, I wonder why shouldn't I do what that person's doing? Or why can't I be like that person? When someone asks me to speak, they're not asking person A to speak, they're asking me to speak. So I have to rely on me being me. And that's a huge lesson I've learned this past year, is that I need to rely on my strengths and rely on my personality and my message, because that's what people are looking for. They're looking for my message, not me to give someone else's. And so those are my 3 reflections today. I hope they've helped you out, because I think reflecting is a really exceptional tool. You know, we can always rely on the age-old adage of hindsight is 20/20, but we also should realize that yes, looking back is fine, but how is that going to help us going forward? We need that reflection to shine a path for us so we can progress and move on with our given messages, whatever we want to do. So please check me out on linktr.ee/Chris DT Gordon. Again, that's linktr.ee/Chris DT Gordon. You can find this podcast, maybe you already found it on there. The YouTube channel, again, if you're watching this on video, you hopefully found it on there. If not, tell someone to check it out. My speaking websites. Hey, did you know I'm a speaker? Yes, I am, and I love to share my message of the attitude of gratitude with people. And speaking of the attitude of gratitude, I also have a free PDF that if you go to that Linktree site, again, linktr.ee/Chris DT Gordon, you'll find that free PDF. And I have a couple other things as well, my Facebook, my LinkedIn, my Instagram. So please check it out. And if you know someone who might benefit from my message, please pass this video or podcast along to them. I would greatly appreciate it, because as lovely as my voice is, I don't speak to hear myself speak. I want to use my message to benefit others and help them make the best of every day. So with that, thank you very much for joining me today. Please have a great day, and remember to pass on perfection and go for greatness.